Today we're going to do an interesting practice. One that the first time I heard about doing a practice like this, I thought the person was crazy. And I didn't see what the point of the practice was. And I was really resistant to it. I was very resistant to it. Because it was so, let's say, different than everything that I had been doing my entire life, that I was exceptionally resistant to it. The practice is really starting to love your body and starting to send, almost as if you kind of start sending like loving intentions to your body, to various parts of your body, thanking them for doing like everything they do throughout the day. And 15 years ago, I never did this. I never even thought of thanking any part of my body, because I thought that, sort of like, here's this machine and I tell it what to do and it does it. And, it's sort of like going to the mechanic when it needs oil or food or water. You get it and then you keep going. But I never really stopped to say, hey, thanks for what you're doing. And I didn't really actually understand the power of it, to be honest with you. I remember being in a class where it was the first time that I was learning how to do a body scan, which was sort of bringing awareness to different parts of the body. And I had a hard time doing that initially as well. And then it was a more deep body scan, which was then sending loving kindness. It was sort of sending loving kindness and gratitude and to different parts of the body. Like, hey, thanks, almost as if I was kind of having a conversation with him. And then it really started becoming a part of my practice, like my nightly practice, where I would do a body scan, and every part of the body that I would touch into, I would thank and honor it and acknowledge it for what it did during the day. As you know by now, or maybe you don't, but I've had a lot of chronic pain growing up. I had severe back pain when I was young that has not gone away until it's relieved since I've been doing these practices. And that's why I now teach these practices. And to me, it was always, I hate my back. I hate my back. I hate my back. My back's not doing what I want it to do. I hate my back. And, why aren't you able to do what I wanted to do? Why are you in pain? And everything was about trying to get rid of this pain. And when I look back on it, it was sort of like, here I am, right? Here's my story. My thoughts, my own thoughts, were actually against myself. They were directed negatively to parts of my body. And, you can actually kind of do this practice and all. It's like, look at a body part that's not hurting, like your elbow, and tell it that you hate it, and see how your elbow starts feeling after a while. You may even notice a subtle change in like the muscle fibers, and it gets a little bit tense. And think of doing this year after year after year, day after day after day, where the repetition is, I hate my back, 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 I hate my back. And that was the story, right? And then somebody all of a sudden starts telling me, hey, let's just say thank you to your back. I mean, why do I want to thank my back? It's in pain all the time. Right? Or why do I want to thank my neck or my shoulder? It's in pain all the time. It's just causing me. And there was a dramatic shift. It didn't happen suddenly, right? I was very resistant to it at first, very resistant, which you might notice the resistance yourself in doing any of these practices, and that's perfectly fine. The point is that you're being exposed to them, and as you're exposed to them, your awareness just slightly opens a little bit more. And maybe when it comes to you again, a year from now, 6 months from now, 2 years from now, there's a slight bit of an opening that might actually allow something to come through, and you're like, oh, I remember that. Yeah, I hated it then. Okay, let me try it again. That's kind of how it happened to me. And so now, many times before going to sleep, and this is actually a really good practice, you can almost do it on a daily basis and just see how you start feeling. And even if you have that monologue of like, I hate my pain, I want it to go away, I hate that body part, or whatever it might be, because I had that you like force yourself for 5 minutes before you go to sleep to just say thank you. Say, hey, thanks. Even though you really cause a lot of pain, thanks for like keeping me upright or allowing me to sit. I know that you're causing a lot of pain. You know, you can almost like throw in your little monologue that you want to throw at it. But sitting with it in gratitude and in kindness to your own body can actually be very, 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 very profound, right? There's a big part of the pain when we are experiencing pain that, first of all, when we acknowledge it, all right, we don't even want to acknowledge it because we're trying to stay away from it. When we acknowledge it, the first thing that we want to do is resist it. And I had this exact desire as well. And there's a really interesting shift that can start to occur in people. And we've done a similar practice with emotions because emotions and body sensations are very similar in terms of how we feel them. Okay. We did what's called the RAIN practice. R stands for recognize or acknowledge. A stands for allow or accept. I stands for investigate. Sort of investigate the details of the emotion. And N stands for nurture or non-judging. But it was the RAIN practice. People felt it was very powerful, fairly common. It was popularized by Tara Brach, who's a meditation teacher. And in pain, you can do the same thing. You can acknowledge the pain. And many times when we acknowledge the pain, what we notice our mind doing is we notice our mind going to resist, go away from, shun, get rid of, whatever it is. Okay. And that's an important neural pathway because that neural pathway helps us try to find treatments that may help us. Remember, pain is acute pain specifically, right? It's a danger signal, right? Did you step on a thorn? Is there a nail going through your foot? Are you having a heart attack? But chronic pain is no longer a danger signal, but it's the same evolutionary mechanism. It's the same evolutionary signal that's going to our brain. But it's no longer a danger mechanism. But we're still getting that danger sense. Danger, danger, danger. All right. So it isn't important because what we do when we feel acute pain is we change what we're doing. Ow, that hurt. I don't want to do that again. Right? I just twisted my ankle going over that rock. That hurt. Maybe I shouldn't do that. I just put my hand on that hot surface. It hurt. Maybe I shouldn't do that again. And it goes to all these different emotional processing centers in the brain, memory processing centers in the brain, right? So that when we're 2 years old and we put our hand on a hot surface and it burns, when we're 2.5, we don't do it again because we remember. Wow, that I don't want to repeat what that happened last year. All right, so it's a very important sort of neuronal circuitry that occurred. That's acute pain. right? So there is a mechanism in there that it changes what we're doing. We're trying to protect ourselves. We are going towards the survival. In chronic pain, we're still doing the same thing. It's the same signal, but we don't need to protect ourselves anymore. There's no need to protect ourselves. There's no danger. The imminent danger has dissipated. And so in chronic pain, one of the things that we can do is recognize, oh, wow, look how quick I am to acknowledge the pain and to resist it, or to acknowledge the pain and to want it to go away, as opposed to acknowledge the pain and, just like we acknowledge or recognize the emotion, we allow it. Now, how many people have ever allowed their pain to be there? If you were telling me, I think you're crazy, right? I don't want to allow my pain. For 5 years, I've been trying to get rid of my pain. Exactly. Okay. And then just because we're allowing it doesn't mean that you still can't do your exercises and continue your home exercise program and continue stretching and continue getting your medications and injections. But it's just a different way that we are having a relationship with it. And it's really about our relationship with ourselves and our body, that then we can start to have a different relationship with our pain or the experience of our pain. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't have a very good relationship with my body because I just told my body what to do and it did it until I got to a certain age and it didn't do it anymore. And I thought I could just bring my body to the mechanic and the mechanic would change the oil, right? And then send me off with the new body. But apparently that doesn't happen to our bodies. Can't just go to, you can't just get new tires and a new engine and a new transmission. So I didn't have a very good relationship with my body. Maybe some of you already have. Maybe some of you already have an increased body awareness. I didn't 15 years ago. And then I started to do some of these practices, which at first I was very resistant to. Like simply allowing acknowledging or noticing the sensations that were present. The painful ones, the unpleasant ones, the discomfort ones. And then just for that moment, right? And this is where we come to the moment, the presence, right? Just for that moment, allowing it. You can go back to resisting it in the next moment. I'll give you back your resistance. Just for that moment, this moment right here, you allow it. And you go, oh, what does that feel like? Oh, well, actually, what I do when I go into that practice is literally my neck and my shoulders release. There's something, and I don't even know, there's something that releases in my neck and shoulders just by saying, hey, just allow it. Oh. And I go, oh, there it is again. Okay, then let's allow it again. Okay. Oh, there it is again. Okay, then let's allow it again. Let's allow it again. Let's allow it again. Let's allow it. And so what am I doing? I'm constantly allowing it. Constantly allowing it. Constantly allowing it. And what happens? Now, with time and repetition, this then taps into the neuroplasticity of the nervous system. All right, so with time and repetition, as I do this practice of just saying, hey, allow, 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 what happens? Literally, your physiology will start changing. Your nervous system will start changing. Okay, you'll start to actually rest, relax the tension that's present from the protection that we're all holding. Gotta protect it. Gotta hold it. Allow it. And I swear, at least 30 to 50% of my pain is caused by my wanting to protect it. By my holding, by my resistance. And this isn't just physical. This is also a mental and an emotional resistance. So it's working when we actually tap into that ability to just allow. It's working on all three of the domains of pain: the emotional domain, the cognitive or thought domain, and the sensory domain. We're allowing our muscles to relax. We're allowing the tension that we are creating from the resistance to drop. Even if it's 50%, you're going to notice a change. You might take a deeper breath. You might drop your arms to your side. Okay? And this is a moment-to-moment thing. It's not that we're thinking about what's going to happen in 10 years from now. Just this moment, can we drop our resistance for just this moment physically? I don't have to protect my neck. Oh my goodness. How does that feel? Okay. So at first, which many of us don't want to do, is that we acknowledge our pain. As soon as we acknowledge our pain, we watch. Where does our neuronal firing, where does our mind go? Resist. If you notice it going to the resistance, say, oh, that's the way I'm programmed. Okay. Acknowledge that. All right. Acknowledge that. It's kept you alive. It's gotten to you to where you are right now. And say, thank you. Okay. Now I choose a different path. Now I choose a different path. And even if the acknowledgement is kind of what we were talking about before of, oh, this is a moment of pain. This is what severe pain feels like. This is it. Here I am. I'm in the moment. Wow. Feel that. Allow. See if you can allow it for just that moment. And if you do it for one moment, see if you can do it for 2 moments. And if you're like, okay, this is too much, I need to go get my medication, then go get your medication. Take your medication and come back. And see, as you notice the medication, let's say, taking effect, what happens when you allow versus resist. Maybe your medication will have a greater effect on you. Maybe it'll work faster. Maybe it'll last longer. Maybe the need to take a second medication won't be present as much. So I've done this. It took me a long time. I started off not having a good relationship with my body, having a difficult time doing like a body scan, acknowledging the true sensation, the true felt sense of the sensations that were coming through, seeing the entire package of emotions and thoughts that were integrated. They were so intertwined that I couldn't really separate them. That every single time I felt pain or I felt some sort of discomfort feeling or sensation that I'd want it to go away. And therefore, every single time I felt an unpleasant sensation, there would be a resistance. There was a resistance that came up. That resistance caused physical tension, more stress and strain in my muscles, emotional tension, more anxiety and depression. And then my thoughts were a mess. My judgment thoughts were a mess. Some of us are more attuned with, let's say, the body. And so it's like, I'm not resistant. You are resistant. Look at this tension I'm feeling. And I don't know what I'm doing. And then you're like, I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I just give up. I start crying. I swear. It's like I'm resisting. I'm not resisting. I don't know what to do. And as soon as I started crying, my resistance dropped. It was genius. It was brilliant. It's like, I don't know what to do. I don't even recognize that I'm resisting. And the person who's working with you is like, there's so much resistance in this. Like, relax, right? Drop the resistance, drop even more, even more. And you're like, wow, even like, I feel like if I drop it even more, my hand is going to drop off my arm, right? We have, like, I've been there, right? Like, if I let go, or sorry, if I let go even more, my hand's going to drop off. So I can't let go. If I let go anymore, right? Here's somebody working with you. If I let go anymore, you're going to tear my shoulder off my body. Right? So in today's practice, acknowledge, allow, / accept. Okay? In pain, people think you're crazy. Do not want to allow my pain. Let's just try it. All right, it's there. All right. Chances are you are holding your breath, okay? And then we're going to take it one step further, which this was kind of the, like, to me, even the more difficult part actually was like, okay, I'm cool with allowing, but then you send love and appreciation. You send love and appreciation to that part, whatever it is. Thank you. I appreciate you. Appreciate this moment, whatever it is. Right? I appreciate you doing everything. I'm moving my elbow so I can drink my coffee even though it hurts. I appreciate you holding the nerves so that my hand can touch and feel various sensations. I appreciate you encompassing my blood vessels so that I can bring blood to and from my hand. Whatever. Okay. And this can be a very beautiful thing to do when you're falling asleep. Is as before, as what we did before last week, putting your hand maybe on different body parts, giving yourself that self-compassion, that self-love, right? My go-to is hand on the heart, hand on the belly. That's my go-to. I feel a very strong sort of flow and connection with that. That's just, I've come to that. Sometimes my hands are sort of floating on both sides of me, and I feel as if my hands are large balloons. The sensory perception of my hands increases quite dramatically sometimes when they're on both sides of me. But you can find something that's comforting for you. And you just simply acknowledge what's happening for me right now. Notice it, allow it, accept it, and then appreciate. Send some love and appreciation to that body part. Okay. So even now, if let's say you have ankle pain, you're driving your car and you feel the sharp pain coming on in your ankle, see what the difference is between telling it to F off, telling it to get the hell out of here, right? To go away and never come back, all right? To get angry at yourself or angry at your body part for having that sensation in that moment. Feeling the anger in your belly, feeling the tension that arises in your anger, from the anger in your belly. And then going on and then walking into the grocery store and limping into the grocery store, as opposed to having the same exact sensation, acknowledging it, and in that moment allowing it. Oh, there it is. Ha! Look at it. Came right when I was accelerating. Let's see what happens if I just allow it to be there. Because it's not changing unless you pull over and you can't accelerate anymore, let's say. But it's in your ankle. Allow it. Accept it. Send the ankle love and appreciation for being able to hold that range of motion so that maybe you still can drive. And then park your car, get out, go to the grocery store, and see how your experience of shopping is different because of how you approach this divide in the road where an unpleasant sensation came up. Where do you go? Unpleasant sensation arises. Where do you go? Unpleasant sensation arises. Where do you go? We tend to go towards resistance. See if we can go towards allowance. And the reason for actually bringing this up consciously is to help evolve ourselves, to help evolve our consciousness. Because the neuronal states that are repeated, those are going to become traits. Those are going to become our traits. So which state are you choosing to repeat? Which state are you allowing to be repeated for you? Because some of us aren't even conscious that it's happening. But it's going in that direction. It's going towards the resist, the hate, the anger, the isolating body parts. And maybe we don't even feel as if we're a whole human being because we have a pain in the ankle and a pain in the knee and the pain in the hip and a pain in the back and a pain in the mid-back, pain in the belly and a pain in the shoulder and a pain in the neck. And all you see is that I'm just a pain in the butt. And you see yourself as all these like disconnected body parts, right? And it's like, oh, today's my left knee. And it's like, okay, today is my left knee. Like, that's it, right? That's all you are. Today is my pain in the left knee. There's nothing else that's going on for you in your whole other body. But we're all these sort of disconnected body parts, right? It's like, well, my right ankle is a 4 out of 5. My left knee is a 7 out of 10. My wrist is a 2. And you feel like you're like this disconnected, right? And so when we start to practice some of these practices, what happens is that the whole body starts to emerge. You start seeing the connection and the flow between them. And that's why it's so important to do movement and exercise and feel how you're all connected and that you're not just your left knee for that day. Even though your left knee may be an unpleasant sensory experience at that moment. Right? Oh, here goes my knee. There it is. That's my life for the next 10 days. I was there. Right? That was my life, my back. That's all it was. Right. So let's go into our practice. A position that you will feel relaxed yet alert. And if you choose to close your eyes, closing your eyes, if not, having a soft downward gaze, as if you're looking off onto the horizon. And taking the moment now to make any small adjustments to your posture to really help it be as relaxed as possible. Relaxing your neck or your shoulders, relaxing your jaw. Placing your feet in a comfortable position. Placing your hands and arms in a comfortable, supported position, as comfortable as you can, where you don't feel like you're holding on to any body part. And taking 2 or 3 deep breaths. And with each deep breath in, inviting in the present moment as it is now. And with each exhale, releasing any tension that's present. With each inhale, bringing in the present moment. Relaxing any tension that's still present with the exhale. Even if it's just the intention of relaxing. Bringing your awareness to your feet on the floor or whatever surface they're on. Feeling your heels. Feeling the backs of your thighs or legs. And noticing where your thighs are making contact with the support surface they are on. Just directing your attention to that contact. Coming up to your sit bones, your low back. Is your low back touching something? If so, just notice the contact. Notice the sensation of the contact point. Bringing your attention to your hands and noticing where they are contacting. And bringing your attention now to your whole body. Breathing if you can. Maybe taking some slightly longer, deeper breaths than you were before, slowing down your breath. And if anything arises, if anything tries to grab your attention, such as a thought, an emotion, or a strong sensation, simply saying thank you, not now. I acknowledge you. Or you could say thank you, I see you, not now. And just coming back to your breath. And now let's bring our attention to our feet again. Notice whatever sensation is present in your feet. Like, where do you notice the pressure in the feet? What temperature are your feet? You're just noticing what arises in this moment. Is there tingling, numbness, achiness? Whatever is present, not trying to create anything, not trying to change anything. Can you allow whatever sensation is there? Simply allowing it for this moment, this moment, this moment. And whether or not you are able to allow it, be kind to yourself. Have that self-compassion as if you were giving yourself a hug. And now offer your feet some kindness, such as, may my feet be happy. May my feet be at ease. You may even send some thoughts of gratitude to your feet. Thank you. And now moving your attention to your ankles and lower legs. Notice, acknowledge whatever sensation is there. Can you allow it just for this moment? And with those body parts, may my ankles and lower legs be happy. May they be at ease. And thanking them. And now moving your attention to your knees and upper legs. Acknowledging what sensation is present. Can you allow and accept whatever sensation you notice in this moment? And sending some love and appreciation to your knees and upper legs. Bringing your attention to your entire leg on both sides. From your hip joints all the way down to your feet. Feel the sensation that arises for you. Acknowledge it. Then wish your legs happiness, gratitude, loving kindness. May my legs be happy. Thank you for all that you do. And now bring your attention to your pelvis, your hips, and your belly. Notice whatever sensations may be present here. And if you don't notice sensations, that's perfectly fine too. Simply acknowledging what arises, seeing if you can allow it and accept it without resistance, just for this moment. And again, sending your pelvis, hips, and belly some love and appreciation and gratitude. And now with your mind's eye, focusing your attention on your inner organs, your stomach and your intestines, your liver and your kidney, your spleen, your bladder, your uterus. And just notice if you have any sensations in your inner organs. And offering kindness, appreciation, love, and gratitude to all your organs for everything they do. Now moving your attention to your spine, from your low back to your mid back to your neck. And just notice what sensation comes up for you. Can you allow and accept? And then send some love and appreciation. Sending love and appreciation to your back. And gratitude to your entire spine. And now moving to your chest and rib cage, to your lungs and heart. And just notice what happens when you bring attention to this part of your body. Is there any sensation that arises? Can you acknowledge it? Can you allow it? And in whatever way you wish, sending it some love, appreciation, and gratitude. And now going to your wrists and hands, forearms and elbows, paying attention to those body parts, acknowledging any sensations that arise, allowing and accepting, and then showing love and appreciation. May you be happy. May you be at ease. Thank you for what you do. And moving to your upper arms and shoulders. May my upper arms and shoulders be happy and at ease. Thank you for what you do. Bringing your attention to your whole arms, both sides, from shoulder all the way down to fingertip. Noticing what sensation arises. And then showing love and appreciation for your arms as well. And now going to your neck and head, face and jaw. Noticing what sensations arise. Acknowledging, allowing and accepting, and showing love and appreciation and gratitude. And then bringing your attention to your whole body. Can you feel the whole body? How is your whole body feeling now? Right now in this moment? And sending your whole body love and appreciation and gratitude. May my whole body be happy, at ease. Thank you for what you do. And just noticing how your whole body feels in this moment. After you've sent love and gratitude and appreciation And just seeing as we bring this meditation to a close, how you can continuously send your body appreciation, love, and gratitude. Be at more ease with allowing the sensations that are present. And now taking 2 or 3 deep breaths, wiggling your fingers and toes, opening your eyes if your eyes were closed, reorienting yourself to your room and your surroundings, and just taking a moment to reflect on your experience.